Welcome to the Elevate Your Event podcast, where we talk about how to plan and execute an unforgettable event that will dazzle your guests and generate more income for your organization. From fundraising and securing trendy auction items to event production and logistics, get the best tips and advice from seasoned fundraising and event professionals who have been in your shoes.
Welcome back to the Elevate Your Event podcast, where we talk about all the various ways you can make your next fundraising event better. And we have a fun episode today, don't we?
Do.
All right, but before we get into the episode itself, we have to welcome back our special guests. And due to a lot of criticism that's been flown our way that Diana Duplanche has not been on a recent podcast, we dragged her down here to the studio.
Yes, I had to block my calendar, y'all.
So thank you, Diana, for joining us again.
It's my pleasure.
And then we have Elise Negebauer as well from our client services team.
Elise.
Yes,
That's the audience.
we're excited to have Elise
Yeah.
because we have a fun one. And Elise is a super creative person.
And I'm the fun one.
You are the fun one. We dragged her in to talk about this topic. And Diana, why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of background on where this one came from?
I can't wait. So for all you listeners out there, guess what? We have a new Handbid listener. She's with an existing client who's been with us for years, but she is new to the organization. She has listened to our podcast twice through every single episode. And so, Angela, we love you. We're so glad you're with us and you're on board with Handbid and that you're thinking about ideas for podcasts, which is where this idea comes from. So, Angela, we loved it. We loved your creative thinking. And so that is where this idea came from. Yep. And her idea, because she herself is obsessed with Chat GPT, she said she just plugged in a question. What are some things that event planners need to know about as it relates to auctions? And these should be both fun, creative, and informative. And so we have some answers, y'all. And
yeah, so we plugged these questions in, or that question in, and Chat GPT spits back a number of questions. And so we thought they were hilarious. Some of them are practical. Yeah. And you can get some good advice out of them. Some of them are probably not practical or even realistic, but they're still fun. It was fun for us to have a conversation about them. And so we'd like to share some of the questions that Chat GPT came up with and what our answers were.
Yes.
And we'd love to hear your answers too.
Yeah. And some of them will just get your creative wheels spinning. And so let's dive in.
Yeah. And so we're going to bounce around through a couple of these just because when we did them, we kind of bounced around. We're like, let's come back to that one.
We need some more time.
Okay. So we're going to start with the first question. What's the most surprising or unusual item you've ever seen auction off at a nonprofit event, and how did the audience react?
Now, before we start on this, there were some that were not safe for work. So we'll let your imagination work
This
here.
is a PG podcast.
Right.
We're going to self-audit right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're not here to tell you who our clients were, but we've had a few clients that I would say have thrown some rated R, rated X items up on stage.
Sure.
Well, you know what I say. People like to imbibe.
So let's go through a couple of other ones here. Okay, so there's a lot of good ones. One of the ones that was probably one of my favorites was we were doing an auction for this Christian school out of Atlanta, and we were doing remote support, and I walk in the room, and the auction manager had texted one of our support people and said, like, what are the items that aren't getting any bids, and what should we do with them? And so we write back and we said, okay, well, the item that's getting the most bids is the bourbon and whiskey package.
That makes sense.
And the item that's getting no bids is marriage counseling.
Well,
and he's like, well, gosh, I mean, it's one of our families. He does marriage counseling. I don't understand why no one's bidding on it. I'm thinking, all right, come on, Charles. Let's be honest here.
These items are correlated. Everybody wants the bourbon.
I was like, which of your families wants everybody to know they're bidding on marriage counseling?
Right. Zero families. Oh my gosh. So funny.
I thought that was funny. We have another one?
that are okay to share. Yes, I'm seeing a couple of
sure.
these.
Okay.
Okay. I like why don't you tell the story of the shot from the 1942?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
For sure.
1942 Don Julio.
Yes.
Okay. For tequila connoisseurs out there, that's a
Make
fairly
no
expensive bottle of
mistake.
tequila. I mean, I would say even if you go to Costco, you're still going to probably drop $130, $140 for the bottle.
Wow,
Okay.
I didn't know
So
that.
it's not your margarita tequila.
It's your sipping
Well,
tequila.
there's probably certain people in this world that can afford for it to be their margarita tequila, but
right.
as they're drinking their $1,500 bottle of tequila for sipping. But no, I would say this is a sipping tequila.
Okay.
And remember, we got 2 bottles of this
Did.
for an auction.
Yep.
And so Dan and Shay is a country band or a country duo, I guess what you call them. And they sing a song called When I Taste Tequila. You remember that?
I do.
Okay. So we get these 2 bottles and one of them is full. So it's a Don Julio 1942 full bottle. The other one has 1 shot left in it. Okay. But it's signed by Dan and Shay. So they drank the entire bottle and left 1 shot. Okay. And so we were trying to figure out what the heck are we going to do with these 2 things. And so we put them up against each other in the auction because we were told, hey, well, you just bundle these together, put them in there. We're like, well, why would we do that? Let's put them up against each other. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have a full bottle of 1942 Don Julio, or would you rather have a fairly empty bottle of Don Julio signed by Dan and Shay? And do you remember which one went for more money?
Oh, the one that
the
was
empty,
Yeah, the
right?
empty one. Totally. Yeah. And that was a really interesting thing. I also loved what we called the items, if you recall.
Yep.
When I taste tequila and when I tasted tequila.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good one.
And who
We
came
did a
up
little
with
play
those?
on
And
words.
nobody's lawyers came after us either, which was
No,
nice.
That's right. I guess we should have checked on that. Whoops. Okay, 2 more in this subject, I
Okay.
think, that are worth mentioning, and that is Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us this one. This is a good one.
Okay, so we were at this auction, this giant auction. I think there were probably 1,200 people in the room, and it was highly celebrity based and really live auction only. And a lot of the big time celebrities, they were kind of trying to vie for the best live auction item. Well, he started auctioning off his own item, and it was a very impromptu.
It was from the cuff, I think.
It was totally.
Literally.
He grabbed the microphone.
Yes.
And he was like,
and you
I
know
have
why
a new
we know
item.
that? Because we're the mobile bidding company and it's not in Handbid.
You're supposed to record it, right?
Yes. So as he's talking, we're typing into the platform. Do you remember this? And he's like, nope, scratch that. No, he said 10 minutes. Nope, no, he said 15 minutes.
He was like, your kid is going to get a call from Mater. So he started saying, just tell me what your phone number is. We'll pick a time and I will call your kid and pretend to be Mater.
Like happy birthday or
Yeah.
Christmas or something. Yeah.
Totally like that. And I think he expected the item to go for a lot of money. And when it wasn't moving, he had a few choice words for everyone. So it was pretty funny in that way. But those choice words were able to get the price up a
Yeah.
little bit.
Wow.
So he was like, this is for your kid, and Mater is calling.
And
What
here's
is
the
wrong with
question:
you?
was Mater going to use those choice words?
Probably not. But I think it did end up going for about $8,000.
Yeah, I think that's right, Jeff.
And I
Yeah.
think he agreed to up to a 15-minute call or something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to make $8,000 in 15 minutes.
I would too.
in the
right?
wrong
I
profession.
Oh
agree.
my gosh. But the best item on this list is probably I do think we've chosen the best example. So Jeff, why don't you tell this since you're a long time.
Well, I still call them the Redskins.
Yes.
And it's going to take me a long time to get over that. It has nothing to do with their name, but I was a fan for almost
Since you were
my
a
entire
kid.
adulthood.
Birth, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the Commanders, but so Mark Rippon, and he was one of the Super Bowl champion quarterbacks back around 1991. I think they won their last Super Bowl, and he was at this event that we were at, and so he gets up on stage, and they're auctioning off a Mark Rippon like experience. It was a signed football and a jersey and some other stuff. And so anyway, one of the things they did, which is actually pretty cool, is as you became the winning bidder in the audience, he would throw you this football. and you got to hang on to it until you got outbid, and then you had to throw it back. Okay.
I think that'd be a lot of stress.
Well, it got a little dangerous, right? Like, so we had people helping to collect the football or whatever, but the bidding kind of gets stalled. And then he says, if this item ends up going for over $20,000, then I will sing Hail to the Redskins.
The best.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
In front of 1,500 people. And so sure enough, I mean, people wanted to see Mark Rippon sing Hail to the Redskins. And so.
And he did. And it was a fairly impressive rendition, because that's not an easy song to sing.
No.
With no music. I mean, it was all a cappella.
And it's
a
a
microphone.
collector's item now. Think about it, because you can't sing Hail to the Commanders. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
That does not sound right.
Braves on the warpath, like fight for old DC. Like none of that makes any sense anymore. So if you have a recording of this, trust me, it's a prize.
Well, it was a great idea.
It was.
And that was his idea.
Yes.
And it really did. It shot the item up, and it made it really special for everybody there. It turned into this live auction experience for everyone in the room.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fun.
All right, we're skipping around.
Okay,
All right.
here we go.
Can you share a memorable moment when a silent or live auction item generated an unexpected excitement or competition amongst the attendees?
All right, so are we going to talk about the first one?
Yes,
on the list?
of course we
All
are.
right,
Okay.
This is a medical procedure.
That's right. All right, so I think a couple of us have experienced seeing these in auctions, but the vasectomy is a popular one.
Yes, and at one event I was at, it was two women bidding against each other for it, and I think their husbands left the room and went to the bar.
It was a bidding war with the moms.
Yes.
Because moms were done.
We've done our job
You
here.
find a new wife or you're getting one of these.
That's awesome.
It was pretty funny.
Oh, gosh.
The other one was an impromptu one as well. And I think we've been to a number of events where these items just get made up on the fly. And we have some horror stories of that happening
we
too.
do.
Consulting
Yes.
and all this other kind of stuff. But anyway, this one was, so John Daly had come to this event. And so John is known to be a bit of a libator, a party animal, right? And so
He is also the Where's Waldo of Handbid.
he is. He's been in a number of Handbid events where he appears. But in this case here, he offered up a shot with him on stage. So you can come up and do a shot of whiskey with John Daly. It was $1,000 to participate. And I think he was thinking like this would just be a one-person thing. Well, 24 people.
So did he do 24 shots? Or
Well,
was it
so that's
one
what I was
across the
wondering. I was
board?
like, no. 24 people went up there and everybody poured a shot and
At
they
the
all did a
same
shot
time.
together on camera. So
Okay, cool.
anyway, I was a little bit afraid, as this thing started to increase in the numbers of people raising their hands, that John was going to have to be taken out on a gurney.
This would not be good.
Right.
But what a great
It's
fundraise,
super
what
fun.
way to raise money
Yes.
when you have a celebrity in the room.
For sure.
That is awesome.
And it's just great that they can play along and come up
Totally.
with these creative ideas.
yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I love
fun.
it. And now all those donors have quite a story to
They
tell.
sure do.
I spent $1,000 to do a shot on
whiskey.
stage. Right.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's get a little bit more unrealistic here, or dreamy.
right.
Okay, what do you think? So, so if you could create a dream team of celebrities to participate in your charity auction, who would they be, and what unique items or experiences would they offer? We'll start with you, Elise.
Well, I guess I have to take the third one, which is Coach Prime. I have a son who just started.
What do you mean
CU.
you have to take
I
the
have
one?
to because she's the one. I've jumped on the CU bandwagon. Although after Friday night, not
You're
so
off
sure.
the Gustavus bandwagon and onto the CU
well,
one.
Not sure which is better or worse, but we thought he's very popular right now, and it would be very easy to auction off an experience with him. Maybe hang out on the sidelines and then head to the locker room and hear some of that rap music he plays.
Yeah.
His theme music.
Yes. So that would be a fun
I
one.
think that would be, everybody loves him right now. And it's just I think his energy would be super fun to be
It would be
around.
fun.
For sure.
And he's just up the road from us.
Just up the road. Exactly.
I'd like him just to be my auctioneer, to be honest with you.
Oh my gosh, right? That would be a great idea.
People will be spending money left and right.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
All right, how about
right.
you? What do you have, Diana?
Well, I think that, I have a 16-year-old daughter. So we immediately thought of Taylor Swift. And I mean, just the hottest ticket in all over the world, really. So our idea was to see if you could get, Taylor Swift to agree to a 2-city, 2-night experience in the backstage. And of course, that you would have to have a chance to ride on her jet.
I know.
So that would be a
Be amazing.
pie in the sky kind of $2 jillion item.
I'm on board with this. You know me. I'm not on the Taylor Swift bandwagon. I'm not off of it. But when I found out that my daughter, who is also, she's 18, right, could have sold her Taylor Swift tickets for nearly $10,000, I was trying to get her to do that. Threatening her with college tuition.
Yeah, maybe it could have been at least a semester, right?
So when that obviously was not going to happen, I realized that I'm going to lose this battle. So I think you guys are definitely onto something with Taylor Swift.
I think for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to throw one in there that I think would be interesting. Elon Musk. And of course, if you're going to go bring Elon Musk in, what would you want him to do? It could be everything.
Sure could.
I mean,
I would want to sit in a board meeting.
But if we want to get dreamy here and realistic,
Yes.
I want a ticket on his Mars expedition.
Yeah, love that.
He's going to do.
Yes. And just, is he going to go with you? Is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just going to be
But maybe he'll
alone.
watch you launch.
So funny. No, those are the pie in the sky for sure.
Okay.
I
Those
love
were
thinking
fun.
like
That
that.
was a fun
It
question,
was fun
for
to think
sure.
about. Yeah.
Well, let's stay fun.
All right.
Okay, so let's go with if you had to organize a silent auction in a completely unexpected location.
Yes.
We're not talking about anybody's basement or anything. Okay, so we're going to go with something kind of still dreamy, right?
Okay.
Mountaintop, underwater, whatever. Where would it be, and how would you make it work? So let's go backwards now. So Diana, why don't you start?
Well, don't take mine, Diane.
Oh, well, we thought we really just did 2 big ones.
We did.
We did.
And the one that we came up with was, what if you were on an airplane and you were at 40,000 feet and you had an auction? Well, first of all, we love the idea of making your passengers use an app because you wouldn't have access to the web.
That's
right.
right.
And why on
But there
earth
is
would you do a
Wi-Fi.
paper bid sheet? Because you would be like, excuse me, I got to get through here. So no way. And then what you would be bidding on is where the plane is going to land.
Yes.
That is fun.
And were we offering a few of the little
mini bar.
mini bar
Yeah, the mini
bottles
bottles
for our
Yeah,
guests?
That's right.
That's right.
It would be really, they would not be thirsty at the end of your event. So yeah, we thought that was a fun idea and a different way of thinking about things. How would that look?
I like that.
Yeah,
I like it too.
That would be really fun.
I'm bidding on Cabo. I better land in Cabo. If you're landing in the northern parts of Canada, I'm not sure I'm in. But
Yeah, I mean, I
better
can
bid higher is what
see-
you're telling me then.
And the question is do the pilots? Did they also bid? Did the stewardess, the flight attendants bid?
I think you better bid fast before you run out of fuel. That's all I got to say.
That's right. Okay,
I'm not dragging this one out.
that's right.
All right, what do you got,
All right.
Elise?
Well, so I spent a little time in Switzerland 2 summers ago, and my idea was the Piz Gloria up above Murin, which you can only get to on a little tram, and so no cars. And my talk about dreamy. Any of the James Bonds would be joining us. So they would be up there, no
Do you
cars.
have your rank order of James Bonds?
Oh, I do.
Much.
But she clearly is not going to share them. I want to hear. What's your number 1 James Bond?
Well, probably Daniel Craig, right? I
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's the youngest.
Are you saying you're too young to think that Sean Connery is the dreamiest James Bond out there?
Yeah, well,
She's not holding back with her opinions
No,
today.
she's clearly not.
I don't know. Daniel Craig in a tux isn't a bad thing.
Do you, as a guest, do you get a James Bond gadget when you walk in the door? That's what I want to know.
I think so.
Okay, I just want to make sure. And are you greeted by who's the person that does all the gadgets? Q. Okay, you're greeted by a Q-like character.
That would be perfect. Yes.
And then, are we drinking? We're drinking martinis.
Yes, there has to be martinis.
Has to be
shaken,
martinis,
not stirred,
shaken, not stirred, walking around. Okay.
Yes. So
this would be a really fun idea.
It would be fun.
It would be very, very unique. Yes. So we had a lot of fun with that one too. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool. Should we keep going? This is fun.
Sure.
All right, let's keep bouncing around here. So how about this one?
Which one?
If you could turn any ordinary object into a highly coveted auction item, what would it be and how would you make it extraordinary? Okay, we had to stay PG with this one.
Oh, yeah.
But,
okay, I forgot about that one. Okay.
but there's some good ones here.
But Taylor Swift came up again. Diana?
I lost it. Hold on.
Well, so look, Taylor Swift came up.
Yes,
We had a couple of them
it.
in here that were pretty good. And then I think one of our clients actually does this, and we should talk about that. But,
Yeah.
It's super fun.
So a couple of them that were interesting. So we were at an event, and they had duck calls that had been provided or donated by the Duck Dynasty guys from Duck Commander.
Handcrafted.
So they're the duck calls, and they were not going for a great amount of money. And so then they brought them up on stage, and then Willie Robertson signed them and then blew his saliva all through them. And all of a sudden, they were selling for thousands of dollars.
Amazing. I don't know if that'd be on my list, but...
Well,
but going along with
super
that, so
creative.
then we're like, okay, so if it wasn't that, like, we're pretty convinced that we could probably auction off Taylor Swift's used straw from the Diet Coke she had.
100%. Someone
sure.
would definitely buy that
I
one.
think so.
Yeah,
It would
at
not be
high
me,
amounts of money.
But it might be my daughter.
Right.
But I did visit Churchill Downs once, and I did, I shouldn't say this in public, should I? That I stole a little bit of dirt and put it in a Ziploc bag.
You're going to get a phone call. You are going to get a phone call from the president of Churchill Downs.
I was like, okay, these thoroughbreds just ran right over this dirt, so I have dirt from
awesome.
Churchill Downs.
That's really fun.
Well, and that's the spirit of this question is what is an ordinary item and how do you take it to the next level? So,
Yes.
And as we've seen, John Daly,
Well-
the Duck Dynasty guys, they sell items. So
Yes, and one of them, we were at this event in North Carolina, which we're going to here in a little bit, and this guy walks in the door, and he's got a piece of sheet metal, and he hands it to me, and of course I'm not really inspecting it. He goes, I said, "What can I do with it?" He said, "This goes in the auction." And of course I'm thinking in my head, what the heck is this thing? It's a piece of sheet metal, okay, and it's all bent and ragged, and Well, what it was a piece of a wreckage from a famous NASCAR driver's car that he had wrecked.
wow.
And then they had taken it and they had signed a piece of this. And so
it's NASCAR country. Oh, yeah.
I guess you would want to hang that on your wall. I'm not sure, but anyway.
In the man room?
Ordinary item.
Sounds
Not in
fun.
my house. Right.
And then what about our client?
Oh, yes.
They do some
Yeah, talk
cool
about what
things.
Archman does.
Oh, cool. I mean, I love this group, you guys. They are located, they're located out of Ohio, but they have this really unique concept in as much as they work with certain teams who are championship winners, and they buy basketball floors and they take them out of the stadiums and they turn them into art. And when I say art, these things are gorgeous. They're putters, they're Christmas ornaments, they're plaques, they're awards. There are all kinds of ways to reinvent a basketball floor where the XYZ team won or that team won. And so it's this
neat.
idea.
And
It is super fun.
And I was never aware that once the game is over, these floors get torn up
I had no idea.
and stored somewhere, and then you can buy them. So they were buying them. But when I did go to their website, I was super happy and impressed because I went to the University of Virginia. I remember when they won the national championship, and they have UVA national championship basketball parquet floor stuff all over their website. It's so cool.
Yeah,
And
that's fun.
There's plaques. There's, he was telling us stories about we could do something where this is where they took the game-winning shot on this one spot, or this is the spot where Coach K's legs of his chair were in the last game he ever coached. So anyway,
right.
Really, really kind of cool stuff.
That's really fun.
But those are
an ordinary basketball floor.
Basketball floor, right. And I guess it's the same concept of what you do with just a jersey. When it's the signed jersey, it has a lot more value. It's a little bit of the same concept.
Or we have clients who sell game-worn jerseys. So if you want a sweaty hockey jersey, we can hook you up.
Oh my gosh, those game-worn jerseys, especially on the special nights that they do, like military awareness night or military appreciation night or some sort of cancer awareness night.
For sure.
Oh my gosh,
just make sure they wear them.
Yeah,
sometimes they put them on in warm-ups, skate around the rink a few times, get off the rink, throw them at the equipment guy, and put on their uniform and go out. So anyway.
So Jeff, what's a sweaty one?
Yeah,
it's funny. I mean, some of the people that really go after that stuff, and I'm thinking, do you want to wash that? Mm-hmm. No,
no, you can't wash
it. Sure. Oh my God, it's so funny.
All right, we're on a roll. Let's keep rolling here. So describe the most successful fundraising tactic you have used during a silent or live auction that left everyone talking about it long after the event. That's a good question, Chat GPT. I like that one.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
This is a little more realistic.
It is. And as an event planner, for all you people out there, this is your job, right? You've got to make something memorable. And it's hard to do that every single event. You have to figure out how to make it special. Mm-hmm. So we love this question.
Yep. So let's go through them. We had some good ones in here. Okay, I'll take the first one because this is the story I shared. And this was at an event where there was a lot of music and golf memorabilia at this event. And one of them was this famous Ben Hogan 1-iron shot. And you guys have seen it. I mean, everybody has. And I think the item was a framed item. I think it was around $300 or $400. And no one was bidding on it. And at one point, the auction manager came by and, and he had seen there was a collection of items not being bid on. And he had something else he needed to go do. And he looked at me and I said, do I have license to get these items sold? And he goes, yes, I do not want to take anything home tonight. I said, okay. So I took this particular item and I think it was at like $400 and I dropped it to $200. And I think its bid increment was like $50. And I dropped the bid increment to, I want to say $10.
Mm-hmm.
And this item sold for way over $400 by the end of the night.
Yeah.
And that works, lowering your starting bids, lowering your bid increments, giving your bidders some time, getting them into the competition definitely works.
It's amazing. I mean, I love the story because, here's a very experienced event person who had a jillion things to do, but you had your auction brain on and you could go and solve this problem for him and let him go and take care of the other things he needed to do. And then, what ends up happening is psychology takes over.
Yep.
Right? Every time. So there it is. I think that's awesome. I wonder wonder where that Ben Hogan 1-iron shot is right now.
I don't know. Maybe, it's not in my living room.
Maybe on some golf course in Nashville.
I hope so.
Okay. What's the next one?
Moving rounds of golf out of the live auction. I learned this one from a friend of mine at my own event. And so we had some fairly exclusive rounds of golf, and we decided because they were so exclusive, we were going to throw them in the live auction. And then what I noticed was that they were just not getting bid activity from a couple of the guys I knew in the crowd that should be bidding on these and spending a lot of money on them. So when it was over, I went up to one of them and I said, I don't get it. Like, that is, I'm telling you, that's worth $2,000. That foursome is worth $2,000. He goes, of course it is. I said, why don't you bid on it? He goes, dude, you don't get it. I can't bid on that stuff in front of my wife.
Unless it was paired with a pearl necklace or
a purse,
ring.
A nice bag.
He's like, you throw Disney in the live auction. He's like, I would have thrown $2,000, $2,500 down easily in the silent auction on that foursome.
So crazy. Wow. So since then, you've never had
rounds of golf go in the silent auction, folks. Sorry to tell you. Unless you're at an event with all dudes and they don't care.
Right, exactly. No wives allowed.
No wives allowed.
Oh my God. How about that? Okay, the next couple are a little bit more like not really auction style, but they're a little bit kind of gamish. Like
Yes.
we're pulling in other streams of revenue. So, and when I heard this question from Chat GPT, I was really thinking like, what would I say to a friend if she said to me, "Oh, well, how was the event?" I might say, "Oh, they had a blah, blah, blah. They had an XYZ thing that was so exciting to me that I want to tell you about it." And so when I think about something like that, I think about a hat contest, or you do a seersucker contest. And how does that work at your event?
Well, so you walk in the door, they snap a photo of you, if based on whether you're in the hat contest or the seersucker contest. And then you go in there as an item and you have a vote.
Vote.
And so, no, we don't limit votes because a vote is a $5 donation. So we want to collect as much money as possible. But you can flip through, basically the people in the hat contest or the people in the seersucker contest, and you vote for the person you think best represents, whatever the contest is, the theme. And then from there, the person who raises the most money wins.
I love it. It's like this kind of person that could be, an ancillary member of your donor base almost, could emerge from the depths as the winner.
Yes.
They can come forth. I love that. And they're just
and
like
if you make the prize meaningful, then you'll get people to participate.
I love it.
And it's an easy way. We're always looking for less expensive ways where,
That's right.
not everyone can bid on your $2,000 golf, but a lot of people can do a $5 vote for a hat.
Sure.
So, they're giving back, they're feeling good and having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I do
That's
too.
cool.
That's a great
Well,
one.
the one contribution I have to this list, I'm so sorry, y'all, this is a new one that a new Handbid client was just telling me about. And it's all around a University Alumni Association. And y'all, they're doing beer pong. I'm not even making it up. They're charging $25 to participate in a beer pong contest. And so they're going to make a lot of
Super
money
fun.
doing
Yes.
that. They are going to have a blast.
They
So
are.
you know what I would do with beer pong?
Tell me.
In your live auction, I'd make you have to beer pong for your next bid increment. So you better get it in the $5 cup, because if you get in the $500 cup, you're upping your bid by $500.
Now talk about a game of chance.
Exactly.
That's right.
That would be fun.
It would be fun.
Here's one, though, that you just brought up that I thought was interesting, because you said university, and there is a university doing this. And so they're doing a mini golf event. And they were talking about, they were just kind of brainstorming with me on ideas and whatnot. And they're like, we're trying to do something kind of fun. Do you have any ideas on what you would do? And I said, I kind of do. Because, some of these mini golf events, or even the golf events, can get a little bit, I'm going to say boring is the wrong word, but they can just get a little bit mundane, right? You kind of do the same thing. So I was like, have you ever seen Cutthroat Kitchen? He's like, oh my God, that's my favorite show.
What?
And I was like, I think you need to auction off sabotages for the other team.
Oh, what? You auction off sabotages.
Have you seen Cutthroat Kitchen?
I have not.
No.
Okay, so Food Network people. Okay, so Cutthroat Kitchen is, they say you got to make a dish. Okay, and so they'll say you got to make like a savory dish or something, right? And so you're thinking in your head, you're the chef. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to go make, and then you have like 3 minutes to shop or something. So you run into their little store and you buy all your stuff because you're going to make your chicken cordon bleu or something like that. And you come back and you're standing there, and then they start auctioning off sabotage. And they're like, okay, you can take all of the protein from another person's basket. Starting the bidding at $100, and everybody has like $1,000 to spend or $2,000 to spend. You have 3 rounds. You got to make it through.
Oh,
so you got to decide like, what can I live with and this stuff, like, you can make your, person cook in a, easy bake oven, right? Or
Oh, wow.
you can make them keep one arm tied behind their back or
Right.
something like that.
That
So
would
there's
be-
some fun ones in there. And so I was like, what could you do in mini golf that would make this fun? Like, you have to like
blindfolded.
Wear a blindfold. That's
Yes.
what.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you wanted to get, if you wanted to put the auction on the opposite side of where it normally is, that would be kind of a fun way
it's
to
a
do it.
really good idea, Jeff. I
is.
love it.
That's
It's
super
so
fun.
cool. He'll have to give us the update on that one.
I know.
Yeah.
Seriously. If they ever pull off this, that part, that'd be good.
And then the last one on there, this is one of my favorite events that I've gone to several times. They auction off a surprise trip. And they have the private plane right there. You're there waiting for you. And you come with your bags packed. And they send you on your way. And they've gone places. They went Coeur d'Alene, Las Vegas, New Orleans, Nashville. They go awesome places. And there's about 8 people on the plane. And you basically, I hope you have a babysitter because you're going that night.
Oh my gosh. So
and-
you
You are.
pack your bags.
Yeah, the event's in a hangar.
Right.
Next to the runway.
right.
So
Yes.
Okay.
you are going, and unfortunately, because of like how it works, you can't leave the country, right? Because otherwise it'd fill out a lot more
Yeah.
paperwork.
Okay.
So you're going to be in the U.S. You kind of know that. They used to be way more like, I would say,
Prizes.
obscure about where you're going. They'd be like, dress warm or dress cold. So you're bringing a suitcase of warm or cold clothes. But now they kind of
They
give you
do
a better
share
clue,
a little more.
about where you end up going to go.
But they pick great places. And I mean, again, you have to have access to a plane
Yep.
and a pilot and probably a airport, but it's super fun and people get really excited and then everybody waves goodbye.
So
Yeah, I love
cool. That's awesome.
All right, we got a couple more, you guys. You've
right.
got a
Okay.
home stretch. You think we can do them? I think we could.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So, what's the most creative way you've seen technology used to enhance the auction experience for both bidders and for donors?
Very cool. I'll take the first one. This one was actually the inspiration for this was from a local organization who was auctioning off murals. And his idea was to let people vote on their favorite, but also he used our app solution to give almost more live updates than usual because the murals were still in progress. So he was going to do a before, like when the artist was just starting, a during, and then an after image. So he was able to update the image of where it was being created in real time. And that was really special for the bidder because it was a 2 or 3 day event. So if they were going on day 1, then they could see the progress on day 2 without having to go all the way back to the festival. So I thought that was very creative.
That is fun.
That is neat. You want to take the next one?
Sure. So we have a really fun feature that we try to gamify fundraising a little bit. And so we have our puzzle feature where you have your before picture and your after picture. And people use it different ways. But one of my favorite ways I've seen it used is like a food bank, and they have a fill your fridge. And so you have an empty fridge. As you're buying the pieces, you're starting to reveal the full fridge. And of course, that
Love
money
that.
goes towards the food bank to fill people's fridges. So, I've seen
great
people
one.
be so creative with that. It's just, that one's one of my favorite. And it's
That is
fun
very
and,
cool.
and pretty easy to do.
It's
Yes.
like a virtual, it's like a pictorial thermometer.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Love that.
As we
great.
used to say, everybody has a thermometer, but we have a puzzle.
We also
And
have
now
a thermometer.
and now we let you. We do have a thermometer too, which takes your temperature, and we'll show you how much money you've made. But the puzzle's way cooler. But we also let you change the price. of
That's
each
right.
piece now,
That's
too.
right.
So they
It's
don't have
so
to be all
fun.
the same price.
That's one of my
kinda
favorite
yeah,
new parts.
that's a good
I
one.
know. And if you want to talk about like how we listen to clients, that came up at AFP conference.
Oh, yes, yes,
We had one of
yes.
our clients walk by and they were like, yeah, we love you guys. By the way, I need to change the price of puzzle pieces because I want them all to be a different price.
Okay.
And
Yep. And we did it.
6 weeks later, we sent them a surprise email. Could be you next time. Let us know. Anyway.
For sure.
Okay. Another one on this list we had here. And this is one we actually did at one of my events during COVID, which was all virtual. We did a derby party, but we didn't want to have all these people at all the same derby party. So we had like 8 derby parties around the Denver area. And then we linked everybody together live streaming through Zoom.
Super fun.
Yes. And so we were able to have communication and chat with each other. And that even actually extended into, other parts of the country as well who had joined us for our derby party. So that was kind of fun.
That is
So
neat.
cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Love
was
that
like
idea.
like a fundraising conference call.
yeah. With alcohol.
Exactly. All right. Got a couple left. What's your secret sauce for encouraging competitive bidding in a live auction without making it feel too intense or causing a divorce? I'm going to throw that in.
Right. Well, you have to have a skillful live auctioneer.
You do.
Yeah, that's number one.
Yeah.
Rule number one. And what else do you do?
A tactful and unoffensive live auctioneer.
Yes.
But maybe walks the line a little bit.
I think
Yes.
you do have to walk the line, but you have to also be able to read your room.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. It was funny. I was telling you guys this story. I mean, we were in this event, and it was an extremely, I would say, a conservative and non-energetic crowd.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm not saying conservative people are not energetic. I'm just saying this was a very, it was just a very low-key group. And the very first item up for auction was this ginormous, gorgeous Viking grill.
Wow.
And the auctioneer gets on stage and she says, well, you know, they measure a man by the size of his grill.
And it was
And there
not
was
met with that response.
Well, it was not crickets. It was me and this other person completely laughing in the corner. Why the entire room was
cracking
crickets.
up.
And I'm
Oh, my
like,
God.
oh, this is going to be a tough live auction.
This is going to be the longest 20 minutes of our
Yes, it
lives.
is.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That's so funny.
But I've seen stuff like, you know, I was at one event, and again, I would have probably not done this in mine, but they had a signed Larry Bird jersey, and this guy was totally in love with it, and his wife was not.
Oh.
And so she kept pulling his hand down. And finally, the auctioneer was like, do you need to go to the bathroom or something?
Oh, boy.
Can you leave the room?
I think there's a phone call for you.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's
That's
so
the kind of
funny.
stuff we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, playing spouses off of each other
For sure.
in a lighthearted and productive way.
And making jokes. You can
Yeah.
crack jokes against both spouses or two people who are bidding against each other.
That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
Have a little fun.
Have some fun.
I agree. I think you can make it work. All right. We got two other ones. These are more fantasy ones. We're just going to try to jump into this as quickly as possible. Okay. So, because we're running it.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good
All right.
one.
Here we go. Ready? Okay. Imagine you're hosting a live auction with historical figures bidding. Who would be your top three historical? Oh my God. We did
We
not
have
even follow.
five.
Oh my God.
Oh
you
my
guys.
gosh.
We totally
We
failed
had
this.
too much fun with this one.
Who would be your top five historical bidders and what would they bid on? Okay, we were being a little snarky with this one, but let's go ahead and run through this.
All
Let's
right.
do this. Yes.
All right. We put Napoleon Bonaparte as the first one, and we said he would be bidding on growth hormone therapy. Why are we laughing at our own jokes?
I don't know. we are entertaining
'Cause they're not even funny.
ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, who was next?
George Washington. And he would bid on the dental package.
Yeah.
There you go.
Rumor has it he had wooden teeth. That we know about.
This is
Okay.
true. He wants some pearly whites.
All right.
Then Beethoven, maybe either a hearing aid or a cochlear implant.
Yes.
Yes.
Those people who don't know he was deaf.
But y'all, this really, if we're bringing it back to practical matters, this is thinking about the people in your room and what they want.
Right.
They need.
That is
They need.
all about, that's category performance reports. That's who are we, what kind of items do we need to go get? That's the formula for this.
All right.
All right.
For sure.
Okay.
Last
Last
one?
fun,
Okay.
pretend.
This one was
This
really
is the
fun.
fantasy. The
We
fantasy
liked it.
question.
Yes.
All right. If you could auction off any fictional item or experience from a movie, book, or video game, what would it be and how would you make it a captivating auction item?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm going to start with this one just because I actually went to this place, and so it's fantasy at the same time, and it was also super cool. I visit to Hobbiton from Lord of the Rings, and so when I was in New Zealand working, we did drive down to Hobbiton
So cool.
and walked around. It was pretty cool.
I bet it was amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I forgot. You used to go to New Zealand all the time.
I did.
Yeah. That's very cool. And I think there were tons of people who would bid on that.
Yes, and it's actually real. You could go do it. So there
Yeah,
you go.
that's true. The one that we thought of, because, we're 80s kids, is from Star Wars. And wouldn't you want to go to the Ewok village? Wouldn't you just want to spend a day there? Just up
With
in
your
there.
little pals.
Yeah. And
As long as I wasn't being carried in on a spit, I would want to go.
as long as that. That's right. And yes. Okay, next.
All right. And I thought maybe a Harry Potter Quidditch match would be great.
That would be
Yeah,
super
I want
fun.
50. Is it 50 yard line? It's not the 50 yard line. Like, I don't know
Like,
kind of
I
what
don't know. The center.
But I
right
want center seat tickets to that Quidditch match.
there. Yeah.
How fun.
But that Harry Potter, I'll tell you, that makes some of my kids and my wife a little bit nauseous. But that Harry Potter Quidditch thing at Universal is so much fun.
The ride.
Oh,
Yeah. Super fun.
yes. You feel like you're flying around on a broom. That's kind of cool.
Very cool.
What else we
Okay.
got on this list?
We went to the Marvel universe
Oh, Asgard.
Yes.
Yeah. Want to hang out with Thor and
Hang
Asgard?
out with Thor.
Yeah. Elise really wants that one. She's going to put her hand up for that.
Yeah.
And just because this is so popular right now, we thought it would be cool to just imagine a Barbie land and go hang out with Barbie in Barbie Land.
You're going to make me see this movie, aren't you?
And Ken,
Yes.
I haven't
I
seen
cannot-
it either.
I cannot
you
picture
too.
this.
You have to see it.
I haven't seen a movie.
I cannot picture
in like
this.
And you know,
Okay.
you get to
years.
take the slide out of the house.
Oh yes, this is
So,
fun. Okay,
it is
we
fun.
would be in the Barbie Dream
I
House.
feel like I'm going to have to turn in my
Barbie
man
Land.
card to see the Barbie movie. James is nodding his head. He agrees.
Okay, and then the last one, we kind of wanted to think about a Disney World and something that we thought would be a pretty good nod
I know.
to.
And I love this
to
movie.
everybody.
I really do. Like,
Yeah.
this is Coco and going to visit your dead relatives. Yeah.
And just
during the Day
hanging
of the
out
Dead.
with them.
Yes.
Very cool idea. Well, and I and again, bringing it back to real life events, I remember you went to a very special event where the live auction was taking place, and it was something like skiing in Switzerland, and it started snowing in the room.
Oh, you can definitely create these experiences. And
Yeah.
this was at one of our clients, and we still work with them, but I don't think they've taken it to this level in a while. But yes, there was a skiing experience in Canada, and they made the room snow.
So cool.
And then there was an African experience, and they had these drummers come in, like an entire African drum band.
So cool.
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
every single experience had some sort of like actor skit that came with it.
Amazing. Or what about a trip to Oktoberfest where you bring the beers out?
Pass out beers to
Yes.
everybody. I mean,
Bring it
that
on.
would
And
get
that
me in
is
the mood.
doable. I feel like that's very doable.
I would be like,
I would want to
husband,
see, because I've seen this, right? Because in Munich, I've seen this.
Yes.
I want to see the German women come in, each carrying like 6 mugs
Yes.
in every
Done.
hand,
Yeah.
wearing that outfit.
Yeah.
The dirndl.
Is that what it's called?
It is.
Okay.
Thank you, Elise. Yes. And then just start passing them out.
That's right.
And-
It would get people bidding.
Oh my gosh, totally. I mean, those German tables, Germans can build some stuff.
Yeah.
Those men dance on top of those tables, and those tables hold
They
up.
do.
It's a big party, from what I
We
understand.
ended up, I don't remember how many beers it was, but by the end, the entire German beer hall was singing Country Roads.
the best.
Yes.
And
It doesn't
that
get any more
is
German
fun.
American than that.
That's right.
And trust me, every German in that room knew every single word of that
Are
song.
you serious?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
Talk about an experience. There you go.
It is. Yes.
This has been fun.
It's
I
been
think that's a
super
great
fun.
way to end our
I
podcast.
agree.
Talking
Or we're
about
gonna sing
country
Country Roads? Is that
That's
what we're
right.
gonna
Oh boy.
Don't get me started. I will bust out those lyrics. Well, thank y'all for having me
Yes.
back. I appreciate it.
It was fun. That
yeah,
was fun.
this was a
fun.
We're
great
gonna have to
idea.
ask-
Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, Angela.
We'll have to ask Chat GPT some more questions.
I love this. This is a great
Okay.
idea. We're
Or you
fans
guys can
too.
ask us questions, and we're happy to answer those as well. So, Angela, thank you for making this a fun experience for us. And if you didn't like, or if anybody didn't like the answers to some of our questions, you're welcome to provide some input on those as well. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Thank you guys so much. If you guys are on Spotify, if you're on Apple iTunes, YouTube, anywhere, please leave us a 5-star review, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified the next time we have an episode coming out. And until then, we wish you guys all the best in your fundraising.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.